Hi everybody, it's Tuesday and we're working on our volume and capacity lesson number 2. Today we're going to be comparing capacities. We are learning to measure and compare volumes and capacities. We can identify which container has the greatest capacity, we can identify which container has the smallest capacity. We can use accurate vocabulary to describe capacity. We can order containers according to their capacity, and we can label the unit used to measure. We can count the units used to measure as well. These full buckets of water filled the paddling pool. What is the capacity of the paddling pool? So have a look, how many of the buckets are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is our answer? 5 buckets, that's right. So the capacity of the paddling pool is 5 buckets. It's not 5 cups, it's not 5 spoonfuls, it's 5 buckets. It's important that we label the unit that we use and identify the unit that we use to measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The paddling pool has a capacity of 5 buckets. The full bottle of water filled these glasses. What do you know about the capacity of the bottle? Have a think. What could you tell me just by looking at those glasses? Okay, we can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what do you think the answer might be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 glasses. The bottle has a capacity of 7 glasses. What does it mean if a container has the greatest capacity? It means that when it is full, it can hold the most. It can hold more. Which bucket has the greatest capacity? Have a think. Say your answer aloud. Were you right? Is it the green bucket? The green bucket has the greatest capacity because it is larger. It is taller and it is wider. Which sand tray do you think has the greatest capacity? Can you explain why? Tray 1 has a capacity of 5 spades. Tray 2 has a capacity of 10 spades. Which one has the greatest capacity? Tray 2 has the greatest capacity. Why? Because it has more, the capacity has more sand in it. There is more sand because it has a larger capacity. Smallest capacity. What does it mean if a container has the smallest capacity? It means that when it is full, it holds the least. It can hold less. Which bottle has the smallest capacity? Which one do you think? That's right, the orange bottle has the smallest capacity. Let's describe capacity. Find some facts about the capacity of these containers. So what can you tell straight away by looking at these containers? Firstly, the glass. It's got 5 ice cubes in this glass. There's a little bit of space down here and a little bit around here, but not a lot. And this one has 6 ice cubes. So do you think that the capacity is the same or different? Let's use these words to help us. So we've got capacity, greater, smaller, greatest, smallest. Which one do you think has the smallest capacity? Which one has the greatest capacity? Okay, and see if we can sort these words. The capacity of the glass is smaller than the jar. The capacity of the jar is greater than the glass. The jar has the, which one would it be? Greater, smaller, greatest, smallest. Greatest. The jar has the greatest capacity. The glass has the smallest capacity. All right, equal capacity. Which containers have an equal capacity? How can we tell? Well, that's right, we just need to count how many units have been placed into each container. So let's take a look. The first one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The second one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the third one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So which ones have an equal capacity? A holds 7 spheres. B holds 6 spheres. And C holds 7 spheres. Something holds the same number of spheres. Which one do you think? That's right, A and C. They hold the same, don't they? A and C have an equal capacity. All right, so now we're going to work on ordering the capacities. So I've used a cup of water to measure the capacity of these jugs. Can you help me order them from the smallest to the greatest capacity? Okay, so the pink jar has 9. The blue jar has 5 cups. The orange jar has 7. So it's asking us to order them from the smallest to the greatest. Okay, that's right, smallest to largest. So let's take a look. Which one do you think is the smallest? Oops, that's right. The blue jar is smallest because it has 5. The largest one is going to be the pink jar because it has 9 cups. And the one in the middle is going to be the orange one because it has 7. Perfect. What if I ordered them from greatest to smallest capacity? So this is the other way around. Swap it round. Let's take a look. Greatest, that means the largest capacity. So it's going to be the pink jar. And then we're going to have the next one up, which is the orange jar with 7 cups. And finally, the blue jar, which only has 5 cups. What do you notice about the orange jug? That's right, it stays in the middle. Okay, today we're going to be ordering the capacities. So let's compare the capacities at home. We're going to use non-standard units to find the capacity of 3 containers. Okay, so we need to make sure when we do this that we number the amount of units that we use. So we have to keep track and keep count. We also have to write the type of unit that we use to measure. So this is our non-standard unit. Yesterday we were measuring with cups. Now these were just drinking cups, so they're not a standard unit. They are just an informal unit that we use to measure. Okay, if you used a spoon, you would say you used a spoon to measure. If you used blocks, you would say a block. And all of our units have to be exactly the same size. So it's really important that if you take a cupful, you need to make sure that you just take a cup and make sure you fill it to the same level each time. Okay. And then we want you to be able to order the capacities. Just like we did in the previous slide, we need to be able to order our capacities from the smallest to the largest or smallest to the greatest. Okay, so that's our activity today. You can follow along with the video to complete this task. So we're going to practice this task together and then it will be your turn. So you're going to go and find 3 different containers in your house and then we're going to draw them on paper or on the Jamboard like we did yesterday. Okay, so pause the video if you need and then come back when you're ready and follow along with me. All right, I'm going to repeat the instructions I've just said, which were remember to label each picture. So just as we did yesterday, we have to label the pictures that the objects and the pictures that we make. We're going to estimate how many cups of water it will take to fill each container, and we're going to record that. And then we're going to test our guess, okay? And remember to follow the steps and rules along the way. Okay, we're going to start the same way as we did yesterday. We're going to draw our containers. Okay, so the first container that I'm going to draw is going to be a lunchbox. And actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my pen, my shift key, so that I can make a nice straight line. So I might rub out that wobbly line. And I'm going to press the shift key and make a nice straight line. Oh, that's much nicer, isn't it? Okay, and then press my shift and my mouse. Okay, and okay, so that's my first container. I'm going to label my container. This one is an ice cream container. Okay, so by labeling it, that will make it a bit easier later because I want to be able to sort them, and I can't move my drawings, but I can move my images. So I'm going to do that when I'm sorting them into order, okay? And as I said yesterday, you can also upload pictures if you like, but doing it this way is perfectly fine, where we're just going to move our labels along. All right, so let's do our next container. This container is, I'm going to use my pen tool again. I'm going to do it yellow. And this one is going to be a smaller container. It's a lunch box. And I'm going to press my shift key again so I get that. Oh, no, I must have done it too late. Let me try that again. Shift. And then there we go, nice straight lines. Okay, and then it's only it's not as deep, so just make a little bit of a, to make it into a 3D, or you might even just color it is another option to make it have that 3D effect. Okay. All right, so that's my smaller container, and that is a little lunch box. Okay, so I'm going to label it lunch box. Okay, and then my final container I'm going to draw a picture of is a container that I put my fruit in. Okay, so I'm going to draw a picture of that in a different color. Okay, and this is my fruit box over here. Okay, use my rubber tool. All right, so that's my fruit box. So I'm going to write on there, label it fruit box. All right, so now the next thing that we need to do is estimate how many cups will fill each container. All right, so I'm going to open up my Post-it. Okay, so now I'm going to open up my Post-it and estimate the capacity of the container. So the first one is my ice cream container. Oh, and remember we're measuring with the same cup from yesterday. So I estimated the capacity of the container would be about, I think maybe 11 cups. That's my estimate. Okay. I'm going to move that over to my ice cream container, and then I'm going to estimate my lunchbox. I might use the yellow Post-it note for this. I estimated the capacity of the container equaled, so my lunchbox, I estimate that it would be 3 cups. Okay, and I'll move that over to my lunchbox. And then my final one, I'm actually going to edit that and change it to green. I estimated the capacity of the container, and it equals, I think, because it's a lot smaller, so I think maybe 1 cup for this one. And I'll move that over here. It's a little bit hard to see. I'll move it down a little bit beside my drawing. Okay, over here. All right, so now we have to go and measure it. So you're going to go away and you're going to measure your containers. All right, so get your cups out, use your water, sand if you prefer, and measure, making sure that we fill the container to the same level each time. So if we want to make sure that the cups are fairly full, but not to the point that you're going to spill them, but just fairly full. And then every cup needs to be the same size so that it's consistently measured at the same height. Okay, all right, so now I've gone away and I've measured using my cups. I'm going to get my pink Post-it note for my ice cream container, and I'm going to write how much it was. I measured the container and the capacity equaled 15 cups. It was a pretty big tub of ice cream. Okay, move that over to my ice cream. Then I'm going to do the yellow Post-it again. I measured the container and the capacity equaled, so this one's for our lunchbox, and it equaled 3. I was right. It equaled 3. All right. And then my final one, which I'm going to edit as green, I measured the container and the capacity was 2 cups. So I was close, but not quite right, 2 cups. And that's okay. It's estimating is our guess. It's an educated guess that we think that's how much it's going to be. And then we go and check our answer. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is place them in order. So I'm actually going to add to our Jamboards now a line at the bottom of our page. Okay, and I'm going to put a little post-it note in a blue color, and I'm going to write smallest capacity. Okay, so this is our smallest, and then I'm going to write largest capacity, sorry. I might just write largest. Okay. And I'm going to put our largest at this end and our smallest at this end. Okay. So let's move that out of the way. All right, so now we need to move our containers. So we've got our ice cream container. So our ice cream container ended up being 15 cups. Is it going to be our smallest or our largest? That's right, it's going to be our largest. So we're going to put our ice cream container up this end. And then we're going to work out where our lunchbox should go. So our lunchbox equaled 3 cups. So is it our smallest or is it in the middle? That's right, it's in the middle. It's not our largest, but it is not our smallest either. Okay, and then finally our fruit box. So our fruit box is our smallest item. So it's going to go to smallest. So if you do this for me, you're going to show me that you can compare different capacities from the smallest, or what's another word we used? Greatest. I might even change that to greatest. I think that's a better word for our mathematics task. So smallest to greatest. All right, so I'm sure you're going to be able to do that really well. Good luck with those activities today. Bye.